And it was relating to the cost-benefit analysis for WestConnex that I asked questions of Infrastructure Australia about at the estimates on the 17th of October. Further to that, the committee actually received some correspondence from an individual who was also asking about the benefit cost analysis, and his correspondence that he had had with Mr Parkinson. So why don't I just read what he has said to you. So at the supplementary estimates hearing, Senator Rice put to Mr Parkinson that the WestConnex benefit cost analysis of 1.7 was based upon costs of $13.5 billion. And Mr Parkinson replied, as set out in our project evaluation summary for the WestConnex project, for capital costs we're using the $16.8 billion figure. And he continues to say, my own calculations match those of Senator Rice. The benefit cost analysis of 1.7 is broadly consistent with a cost of $13.5 billion and is inconsistent with a cost of $16.8 billion. And he says, I duly made an inquiry of Mr Parkinson, who was good enough to reply, the $13.5 billion total cost figure is the present value of total costs at 7% real discount rate. The $16.8 billion capital cost figure is a nominal outturn figure which is not discounted. In other words, Mr Parkinson has privately acknowledged that, contrary to the answer he gave Senator Rice, the benefit cost analysis of 1.7 is based upon discounted costs of $13.5 billion, not upon the undiscounted cost of $16.8 billion. So we wanted to clarify then, given what's going on here, he knows it's not a trivial matter, there's a difference here in excess of $3 billion of public money.
Senator, I'll take that on notice and get you an answer as quickly as possible. I suspect we'll need to clarify. As you're aware, there are essentially two assessments underway there. You've got the nominal outturn cost, which is the 16.8, to which the benefit cost analysis would normally apply, because that's your capital cost.
Exactly.
And then I think what the 13.5, as I understand, is what effectively your net present value assessment, which is a different assessment to the benefit cost analysis. You end up, generally with most business cases, you'll end up with a benefit cost analysis, which is that number which is greater than 1, which is that. Separately, you'll have what we call an NPV analysis, which is essentially your discounted financial transaction cost, which gives you essentially your financing value of the project. I will take on notice that question that's been raised by the correspondent and yourself and come back to you, if I may, in detail on notice.
Yeah, so you're saying, what you just said here and what I was going to ask is that the normal practice would actually use that 16.8 billion, but it appears that the benefit cost ratio has used the 13.5 billion.
Well, that's what I need to establish. I think that there's two separate. Generally, under a business case, you'll have two. You'll have what we call an NPV value, net present value of a project, which is your discounted cash flow analysis, essentially, and then you've got your benefit cost analysis, which is done on your outturn cost. It might just be having to explain the definitions of the two assessment methodologies would be utilised. Let me take that on notice and come back to you.
Mr Murdoch, the Secretary is going to make an attempt to produce a redacted copy of the correspondence that we have, and then we'll give consideration whether there are any implications in providing you with that, but then you will have the exact figures and terminology used to assist you.
That would be utilised, and we can obviously
We'll try and do that through the break if we can.
That's fine. And I'll get an answer and an explanation for Senator Rice as soon as possible.
So what? So this evening?
I don't think I'd be able to do it this evening because I need to go back, and given the hour, I just don't think I'd be able to get hold of the officers who have the details, including Mr Parkinson. So I'd need to take it on notice. I'm sorry, Senator.
Okay. Thank you, Mr Murdoch.